What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Goosebumps episode Night of the Living Dummy Part 2. This is going to be a little bit different from my other reviews. I'm going to be a little bit more laid back and relaxed about it, just talking about it. And let me know what you think about it down in the description below. And if you haven't seen my other Goosebump reviews, you should check them out on the channel after this. Alright, so if you don't know for some reason, Goosebumps was a kids' TV show in the late 90s, and they were based off of books written by rlstine, and these books were top tier. They were so good. My mom used to read them to me all the time as a kid, and the covers of these books, perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about them. They were drawn by Tim Jacobus. Thank you, Tim. You're the best, man. So the Goosebump books usually involved like a haunted house or a ghost, some creature, some slime, Doctor's mad scientist guy, something crazy like that, a haunted mask, or perhaps an evil possessed dummy.
My name's Slappy.
And I don't care what you say. This is the best version of Slappy by far. Redheaded Slappy, number one. Number one for sure. I don't care about the Slappies that came in the future or the Slappies that were on the cover of the old books. This is who I think of when I hear Slappy.
Frog in my throat.
For whatever reason, they decided to skip over the first Night of the Living Dummy book, and this is the first version of Slappy we ever saw on TV. As far as characters go in this episode, we have Jed, the younger brother, Sarah, the older sister, and then right in the middle, we have the main character, Amy. Then we have mom and dad, some side characters, and Slappy, of course. So the episode starts off with some beautiful piano music, and we see this nice little family having like a talent show or a show and tell type thing. And I guess they do this every weekend. And this weekend, the older sister, Sarah, has drawn an amazing picture of the house.
I call it Home Sweet Home. I'm entering it in the City Art Show.
Sarah, that's just beautiful.
It belongs in a museum.
For some reason, I just feel like this is what like a super strict like Christian household would do on the weekends or something. They would have like a family game night or a talent show or something like that. So next up is Jed, and his talent is spying on people.
There's Mom sticking to her diet again.
His mom's eating ice cream, his dad's putting on some hair, his older sister's taking forever in the bathroom, and then his younger sister's trying on a sweater that she took from her older sister, which is a big no-no.
How many times do I have to tell you not to try on my clothes?
Last up is Amy, and her talent is being a ventriloquist. Is that what you call him? She has her old pal, Dennis, and he's not doing so good, because after a few jokes, his head falls off.
The exterminator. That's the best part.
Amy's all pissed off because her parents told her that they would get her a new one eventually, and they did.
Why don't you look behind the couch?
Really?
Behind the couch is the OG.
Oh, wow, he's great. Slappy?
Her dad says that he found him at some secondhand store, and man, finding something like this at a pawn shop or an antique store it'd be the coolest thing to me, I feel like. Right as she pulls him out, she finds a card tucked away in his pocket and decides to read it out loud.
Caru, Mary, Donna, Roma, Molyneux, Carano? Sounds like a foreign language or something.
If you're a longtime Slappy fan, then you know that those words, it brings him to life. Now, I don't know, because it seems like in every version of Slappy, you got to read these out loud. You got to read these words out loud. So I don't know how he gets put back to sleep. Also, he seems to die in some way in every episode. So I'm sure the Slappy lore isn't set in stone or something. It seems like it changes quite often. Later that night, Amy's sister comes into her room when she's messing with Slappy and kind of gets mad at her for breaking into her room from earlier or whatever. And then Slappy just goes ahead and decides to speak, and no one reacts in any way. If I was Amy, I'd be freaking the heck out because I know I definitely didn't make those noises.
Well, just stay out. Now go to bed.
Don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Come on. Mom says so.
That's weird.
Amy goes to put Slappy on the bench, and then when she turns her back and lays down in bed, boom! Freaking Dennis gets pushed on the ground. And, poor Dennis, he's just a dummy,
Aw, Dennis.
Silly Dennis, always falling off the bench and whatnot. Later that night, we see a low-down view of someone walking through a hallway with a bloody, is it a knife? It looks like a knife. And where they're going, it's dripping, is it blood? This thing then enters Sarah's room and goes right for the painting.
Mom! Dad!
Sarah, what is it?
It's ruined. Just look.
The next morning, Sarah's screaming because someone drew on her painting, drew little stick figures. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it's like a family portrait now. And everybody blames Amy because she walked in with a paintbrush that she said she found in the hallway. She gets all upset and storms off because, man, she didn't do it. Right as she's getting ready to go to school, she's talking to Slappy, and then she grabs his hands and realizes that he has red paint. How could that get on there? How could that got on there?
Ugh. Red paint? What's going on? How did this get here?
Now, my suspicions from him talking last night would have been raised a little bit. So I don't know. I think I would have already thrown him out my window or something, or like given them to my neighbor. All right, so the very next day, or maybe later that week, they're doing another talent show. Man, they're at it constantly. Their dad looks like he's from the outback. Australia, mate. Australia. Is that how you say it? Crocky, mate. Crocky. Anyways, he's singing Happy and You Know It, which is like, I don't know, I guess so, sure.
On the show, and if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Thank you, ladies and germs.
Next up is Amy, and she's trying out her new act with Slappy. She starts off with telling some jokes.
So Slappy, how do you like being part of the Kramer family so far?
It's fantastic, but then my last family was a pine tree.
But then, just after a few minutes, Slappy starts going off. He starts roasting the entire family.
That was your dad? Well, what a relief. I thought the cat got stuck in the dishwasher. And how about that mother of yours? She went to a store and asked the clerk if he had anything her size, and he told her to try the freight elevator.
Amy claims that she's not doing it and that it's Slappy and that she can't get him off of her.
Kids, come on. Get it. Come on.
I'm not saying those things.
So both the parents are pretty pissed off and they send Amy upstairs. But look at the mom. She has pom-poms and that stick thing. She's about to do a cheerleading routine. I bet Dad's excited to see that. While in her room, Amy's all pissed and puts Slappy back into his suitcase. The next day, Amy has a friend over, and her friend is babysitting her little sister. They're working on some stupid poster. Save the rainforest. Who cares? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Then Sarah comes in to yell at Amy because she didn't ask to take her markers. And while this is going on, the younger sister of her friend finds Slappy in the closet and pulls that man out.
Hi, Slappy. My name's Alicia. Alicia, don't touch that.
Amy runs over and pulls Slappy off of Alicia, and then Slappy just starts roasting him.
Hey, Marco, you can forget about Shane. He thinks you got a face like a can of worms.
Amy.
And then next thing you know, Slappy grabs Alicia's fingers and squeezes.
Ow! Hey, he won't let me go. Amy, cut it out. Stop it. Let her go.
Amy's mom finally walks in, and that's when Slappy lets go. Of course, Amy gets blamed once again, and her friend storms off pissed.
You're such a liar! A big fat liar! I don't ever want to see you again. Not ever.
Her mom's about had it and is confused on what's going on, but Amy just keeps saying it's Slappy. Slappy's doing it. Slappy's doing all this. And then this is what would break me, all right? She turns around, and this man's sitting up on her bed. Like, okay, at this point, I'm throwing this man out the window. I'm hitting him in the head with a baseball bat. I'm putting him in the trash. I'm tying bricks to his feet and throwing him in the river. That evening, they have a family intervention to try to figure out what the heck's going on with Amy. And she keeps claiming that it's Slappy. Now, if you're the family, all right, and you've never had problems with Amy before, and then right when you get Slappy, she starts having problems, maybe you can kind of make a connection. You know, it's like, I'm not saying jump straight to the conclusions of Haunted Doll, but maybe it has something to do with Slappy, you know, so I don't know. Once again, Amy storms off to her room, but then it jumps to that night and we still see Amy, and she's sleeping in the room still with Slappy in the closet. I would have gotten rid of him a long time ago. And what do you know? He gets up and he goes downstairs on his own. So Amy realizes that Slappy is no longer in her closet, so she runs downstairs. She finds Slappy holding a guitar standing on the table, and this man's getting ready to bust these people over the head.
What the? Amy.
He was gonna hit Dad. I had to stop him.
Okay. This stops here and now.
But...
No buts, young lady. I want you back upstairs and in bed now. We'll discuss this in the morning.
The next day at breakfast, they once again ask Amy what the heck is going on. What do we need to do? And she's just like, I'm telling the truth. It's Slappy. Slappy's the one that's doing all this.
I'm telling the truth.
Later that day, Amy's walking down the street, and she sees some of her friends hanging up flyers, but they want nothing to do with her. I'm sure her friend went around saying that Amy was squeezing little girl's hands too tight, so yeah, they don't want anything to do with her. Once her friends walk away, Amy pulls out Slappy from like a pillowcase and says that she's done with his shit. She's tired of him, and she throws him in the sewer.
Hey, kid, wait. Come on!
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I would still prefer the baseball bat to the head or bricks on the feet in the river. That would be a good idea. Later that night, the two girls and their younger brother are home alone, and Amy's just relieved to have Slappy out of her life. But then her sister is cleaning up the floor and thinks that Jed was walking around the house with muddy feet.
Tell Jed to wipe his stupid feet.
Now, I don't know what type of mud he's walking through, but this is like perfect mud. Also, I don't know what type of sewer they got wherever they live, because that's like, I don't even know what could be on Slappy's feet right now. Amy goes upstairs to find that Slappy's returned, and he's standing up. He's confronting Amy, telling her he wants her to be his slave.
You and I are one now. Inseparable. You are my slave.
No, I'm not gonna be your slave. You can't make me.
What's up with Slappy always wanting these slaves? I want to know what he's going to do with them. Like, what's his goal? Does he want money? Does he want more dummies?
What do you think you're doing?
I am going to make all these people my slaves!
What does he want in life, you know? He's a dummy. What can he do? What is he? I don't know. And then with the insane reflexes of Slappy, he dodges a pillow as fast as he can.
I've seen to that. They'll lock you up. Maybe they'll let you see them on visiting days.
No!
Whoa! Amy, I can hurt you and your family in 100 ways.
No,
I don't know what Slappy can really do besides like squeeze your finger really hard. But I would just tackle him and lay on him. So Slappy decides to sit up, revealing his existence to his sister as well, her sister. And I don't know what Slappy's plan is again, but I feel like he should try to keep this low key.
Hey, Sarah. Wanna play?
The girls then continue to run around the house, screaming everywhere they go. And they make their way downstairs and grab some great weapons, a mop and a flashlight. Oh, sweet, man. You're gonna clean up Slappy's act. Slappy's like teleporting everywhere and just completely trashing the house. You know, he's breaking lamps and whatnot. And then he jumps up on top of a chandelier and he starts cracking some jokes.
I've seen better swings on playgrounds.
I gotta admit, Slappy's pretty quick. He's pretty quick. And he makes his way under the couch somehow. And then he sneak attacks Amy and grabs her ankles. She falls to the ground, and it's a moment of, you know, she can't move for some reason. Slappy's on the table. He has the high ground. Sarah's over in the corner not moving, I guess. I don't know what's going on. I guess Amy can't freaking move 10 inches and grab the mop handle. Right when you think Slappy's won and all hope seems to be lost, Slappy gets tackled onto the ground, and this man busts his head on the fireplace.
This family belongs to me. You're mine, Amy. You're mine.
There's some like spooky evil green fart smoke stuff that comes out of his head, and then the girls run over to the door because they think Jed tackled Slappy. And then right when this happens, their mom and dad walks in and they're asking like, what the heck happened?
He was after us, and then he turned out the lights. But Jed saved us.
What? Slow down.
Yeah. What's going on? What'd I do?
The girls say that Jed saved the day and pushed Slappy and that he was really alive, but then Jed comes out of nowhere and is like, what the heck did I do? And then here, for me, this is like the creepiest part of the whole entire show. I remember being a kid and I was like, I don't like this part. This part's scary because, I don't know, just, here you go.
If you didn't do it, then who?
It's good to be back in the family again.
Yeah, so it turns out Dennis is alive as well. Now, in later Slappy episodes, you find out that Slappy has the ability to bring other dummies to life. So I don't know if this is what Slappy had done or if Dennis has been alive this entire time. Who knows? However, he's happy to be in the family again. And I guess Dennis is voiced by Goofy himself. I remember the ending of this episode being super scary. All the Night of the Living Dummy episodes were pretty scary to me, and then Werewolf Skins was also scary. I've reviewed that one, so check it out if you're interested. But yeah, there you go. That's the episode. Pretty scary one in general. It was only 20 minutes long, and yeah, it's up there, I think, in the top 10 best Goosebumps episodes. I feel like in the next one, of course, it's a 45-minute special or whatever. You know, he does a lot more evil things, and they also upgraded his dummy person to a real person is wearing the Slappy outfit, so that makes it a lot more. You can do a lot more with Slappy in that case. And then in Bride of the Living Dummy, which I've also reviewed, check it out down below. That one is just super scary because of Mary Ellen, but I feel like there's a lot more creepy scenes going on, and the ending of that one's also really good. Ooh, man. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and leave a like if you could, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Let me know down below what you think of this type of review. Anyways, guys, thank you. Take care and have a great rest of the night. Peace out.
You look like you'll be a good slave.